episode of Popcorn Rants, and I know what one or two of you might be thinking. Where the fuck have you been? I know it's been a while since I've uploaded a video. I could give you a long list of excuses as to what I've been doing and why I haven't done so, but I don't really think you give a shit, so I'm just gonna move on to the video. X-Men Days of Future Past is the highest ranking X-Men movie, already reaching 500 million at the box office, and it's not done yet. It's probably got a while to catch up to other superhero movies like Spider-Man, which raked in about 690 million. Also Captain America around 700 million, and of course the mega blockbuster Avengers, which raked in over $1 billion worldwide. However, X-Men is doing very well. It's already surpassed The Last Stand, which was a horrible X-Men movie. I have no idea why previous to this that was the highest grossing X-Men movie. I guess it's all about the building of the franchise. Anyway, X-Men Days of Future Past is an awesome movie. It should be the highest ranked X-Men movie. It is the best X-Men movie that has come out so far. Thank goodness for Bryan Singer. And you know, you have to think of a way to basically sort of just erase X-Men 3, The Last Stand, because it was just horrible if you're a comic fan. Not so much if you're a normal moviegoer, I guess. If you're just somebody that enjoys movies. I know a lot of my friends who didn't particularly read comics, they actually liked X-Men 3. But any of you who like comics and are fans of Cyclops, probably not so much. So yeah, this is not really a review. The only thing I'm going to say about the movie is that it friggin' rocks, so go and watch it. It is the best X-Men movie ever to come out. My only complaint about it is that I actually thought it was too short, even though it was more than 2 hours long. I was kind of hoping for like a 2.5 hour, 3 hour kind of thing. And that just goes to show that it's such a good movie. I just wanted more of it. So yeah, there is a missing scene at the end of the credits. Some of you might not have stayed until the end, which is kind of strange because by now I would think everyone knows that there's a missing scene at the end of the movie. It's leading into X-Men 5, which is going to be about Apocalypse, and that's going to be very fascinating. So the end credits, you know, it's kind of vague a little bit how that all will play into X-Men 5, but as long as Bryan Singer is directing the X-Men movies, it can't be that bad. He's a brilliant director. I loved X-Men 1 and 2. All the other movies that happened in between that, I didn't like so much. And there are a lot of inconsistencies actually in this franchise. So Bryan Singer sort of fixed some of the inconsistencies. I actually made a video about it, but the inconsistencies of the entire X-Men franchise since it's been running about 14 years. So there's bound to be some inconsistencies. He's fixed some of them in this movie. He's answered some of the questions, but not all of them. So yeah, you could check this video out. One thing also, something that you might not know about this movie is that Rogue was at the end, but she's actually supposed to play a slightly bigger role in the X-Men movie rather than just appearing at the end at the school. There was apparently a huge scene where she was supposed to get rescued in the future, like Magneto, Iceman, and Professor X or something like that. They're supposed to go and rescue Rogue, and if you watch the trailer, there's a little bit of the missing scene in the trailer as well that didn't appear in the movie. Bryan Singer apparently thought it was too long. He decided to cut it, and apparently because it's sidetracking from the story, he decided to leave it out. I don't know. I would have liked to see that part. We might be able to see it maybe when the Blu-ray comes out. And yeah, that's something to look forward to. Something else was happening in the future. It's got something to do with the fact where she kind of needs to save Wolverine and or Shadowcat in this whole situation. So yeah, there's some spoilers in this, like I mentioned in the title. Shadowcat is sending Wolverine back in time. However, some comic fans are kind of wondering, since when did Shadowcat have that power? Shadowcat's power is only supposed to be intangibility, and she can make other people intangible, and she can walk through walls and stuff like that, right? How come she can suddenly send people back in time? Well, in the comic, as far as I can find, she does not actually have this power. But the reason why Shadowcat is sending Wolverine back in time is because in the original comic, Days of Future Past, that came out, Shadowcat was the person who went back in time, not Wolverine. So they decided to change it in this sense, as in, you know, Wolverine is basically the star of X-Men. So they wanted to revolve the story around Wolverine. And in this sense, it kind of made a little bit more sense. It's one of those cases where the movie changes something from the comics and it makes sense and you can buy it. And in some way, it actually makes a little bit more sense than the comic book. It's like in the original Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, where he naturally has web slinging. So in this sense, yeah, it makes more sense for Wolverine to go back in time because, you know, he's been around for like forever, right? So he would be the same age in the future as well as in the past. And yeah, that is my brief comment, sort of slight review on X-Men Days of Future Past. I'm going to watch it a second time because it's just that awesome. And yeah, probably you guys should too. I'm going to be back with more videos soon. More consistent now. I've taken a break, but I'll be back with more movie previews. So if you like this video, please hit subscribe. Yeah, the subscribe button, please hit that. And I'll be back with another video. Ciao!